Today, we're diving into an exciting topic, the mountain bike pros who could secure their very first World Cup win in 2025.
Using a mix of data, experience, and a handful of faith and a crystal ball, we'll put a list together of talented riders from downhill, enduro, and cross-country who we think are poised for the breakthrough victories.
Yeah, so let's get straight into it. The downhill discipline is probably the most fun to bet on when it comes to possible World Cup wins.
That's simply because the format leads itself to a surprise win. The riders need to have the ability to string a run together, so the stats matter. But the weather and that perfect run are all that stands in the way of these riders taking their first World Cup race.
Yeah, so first up, Bernard Kerr, Pivot Factory Racing. Bernard Kerr is renowned for his stylish and fearless riding, consistently delivering top-shelf performances, but never that elusive World Cup race win.
His best career World Cup finish is second place, which he bagged at round 6 in 2022 season.
Yeah, being pipped by Amaury Pierron by just 0.4 of a second. That second place is backed up by plenty of top 10 results, showing how consistent he can be.
Outside the World Cup circuit, Bernard's best results are undoubtedly from Red Bull Hardline.
Yes, such a good race. Bernard became a bit of a hardline specialist, actually, taking home several wins, as well as being the rider who's always up for guinea pigging the biggest and gnarliest features.
That's very true. He's also taken wins in Crankworks, which is both in downhill and unusually dual slalom, so it's clear to say that the speed is there.
Yeah, he's had a few years of testing and developing the wild-looking prototype pivot downhill bike, the Phoenix, which has finally reached production.
Will the confidence and consistency in the complete bike help him take his first World Cup result in the next level?
Yeah, that top step is just around the corner, and despite the onslaught of young guns, we think 2025 could be the year Bernard claims his first World Cup win. Louise Ferguson, Intense Factory. Louise Ferguson, hailing from Fort William, Scotland, has rapidly ascended the ranks in downhill mountain biking. In 2022, she achieved a remarkable 4th place at Leogang World Cup, marking her as a future star of the sport.
Her momentum continued in 2023 with a 7th place finish at Enduro World Cup, an incredible 4th place at the UCI Cycling World Championships in Scotland.
Yeah, great result. That was a great result. Beyond racing, Lou made history in 2024 as one of the first women to compete in the Red Bull Hardline event in Tasmania, tackling one of the sport's most challenging courses, finishing in 2nd place to boot.
Her consistent top 10 finishes and her groundbreaking participation in elite events like Hardline underscore her guts, her technical prowess, and all-round ability.
Yeah, it feels like it's only a matter of time before she puts it all together and secures her first World Cup victory.
Ooh. Mille Johnset, at just 23 years of age, this Norwegian rider seems like she's been around for a while.
She really does. Yeah, it seems like she's been on the circuit for a while. Mille has been making significant strides in the downhill mountain biking scene. In 2024, she achieved a notable 2nd place finish at the Haute-Savoie World Cup, convincingly beating the rest of the field, only to be toppled by Eleonora Farina.
However, her journey hasn't been without challenges. Mille has experienced significant crashes. I remember watching that crash, right, that feed, at the Maribor World Cup in 2020, where she hit the deck so hard that it led her to sitting out for the finals too.
Yeah, it does seem like when she's on a hot one, the chances of her hitting the deck are high. However, despite setbacks, her resilience and aggressive riding style have proved she is potentially on the cusp of a breakout year.
With more refinement of her mental game and race tactics, Mille's poised to secure her first World Cup win in the up-and-coming season.
Gracey Hemstreet, a 20-year-old Canadian downhill sensation from Cllctv in BC, who has rapidly ascended the ranks of World Cup mountain biking.
In 2022, she dominated the Junior World Cup circuit, securing her 5 wins in 8 races and clinging to the overall title too.
Yeah, well fought. In 2024, she was the first woman to complete and do a full run at the Hardline in Tasmania, navigating one of the sport's most challenging courses.
She took the win in the women's result too. That entire week at the Hardline is what makes us think she can step it up in the big time.
Yeah, despite big crashes and setbacks during Hardline, she had the fortitude and the belief to keep pushing herself, eventually pioneering a run that will go down in the history books.
In the last World Cup in 2024, Gracey was on a flyer and bagged the 2nd place of her home track in Mont Saint Anne.
Yeah, could that be the injection of confidence she needs to go one step higher on the podium next year?
Lachlan Stevens-McNab, Lachie, a 20-year-old downhill mountain bike rider from Rotorua, New Zealand, has rapidly ascended the elite ranks thanks to the World Cup beating BMX racing skills.
Yeah, he was a BMX nipper. After switching focus to downhill, Lachie won multiple New Zealand national championship titles. Outside of his home country, he managed to podium at several junior World Cups and World Championships.
In 2024, he saw him raise the bar, taking the win in Crankworx Rotorua, and also he won the Fox US Open against some proven World Cup winners like Aaron Gwynn, Andy Kolb and Oisin O'Callaghan.
In 2024 World Cup season, he finished an impressive third place at round 3 in Leogang, marking a significant milestone in his career.
Stevens-McNab, consistent performance throughout the season, earned his 12th place overall in the elite men's downhill standings, the highest of a Kiwi rider in several years.
Without doubt, the most notable finish was when he secured a second place at the Mont Saint Anne World Cup, missing the top spot by a mere 0.062 seconds to Troy Brosnan.
Missing out on his maiden win by that much can only mean he'll be coming to 2025 even hungrier and with the self-belief he can cut it at the sharp end.
In the ranks of XC, it's much harder to throw names out there that might just have a special day. These days, every rider in XC has built a training regime that is targeted towards specific goals.
So I think we should go with riders who clearly have the form in their results and also build towards a World Cup overall success in particular.
Yeah, thankfully, especially for us Brits, there are two riders who look like they're doing just that.
Evie Richards, Trek. Evie Richards is a British cross-country star, has already proven herself with a World Championship title in both XCO in 2021 and XCC in 2024.
Evie has 2 short-track World Cup wins to her name.
Evie is known for her explosive power and incredible bike handling skills. Evie thrives on technical XC courses, and her World Championship title proves she can hit form on a focused date and that she obsessively excels under pressure.
Will her focus now move from World Championship titles to World Cup overall? If that was to become her goal, then we might see those World Cup wins start pouring in.
She seems like she's a complete package, a rider who has weathered in many highs and lows on her pro racing. For instance, despite battling injuries in 2022, she showed remarkable resilience and returned stronger in 2023 season.
Yeah, with her fitness levels now peaking and a consistent top 5 finish rate in 2024, her standout performances include a silver medal at the UCI XC World Championships in 2023 and a 3rd place finish at the Albstadt World Cup in 2024.
Charlie Aldridge, Cannondale Factory Racing. Charlie Aldridge, a young Scottish talent, has been turning heads ever since his Junior World Championship win in 2019. Now, a couple of years into elite racing, he is settling into his Cannondale team as a popular teammate. Charlie has become a good bet for a top 5 finish in any race and a potential for even higher as he's proven at an XCC World Championship race in Andorra, where Charlie took a silver medal.
Yeah, great ride. It all adds up to a proven track record. Aldridge is poised for a breakthrough in 2025 and his first big World Cup wins may be just around the corner.
Now, in the world of Enduro, it is especially hard to predict who is going to get their first win.
That's because we're in something of a transitional moment for EDR. With the EEDR being paused for a year, we may see some riders from that category pick up rides in the regular EDR World Cup.
Yeah. This includes riders like Obeas,
Flo Espinera and Yeti's Ryan Gilchrist, who are both EEDR World Cup winners and the EEDR overall champions. Clearly, they have technically accomplished our goal for the riders on this list, although they have not won EDR World Cup specifically. So both Flo and Ryan have to be riders that could definitely get their first EDR Enduro World Cup wins in 2025, if that's where they end up.
The other big change in 2025 is that the retirement of Isabeau Coudurier, who has dominated the elite women's category for years. Hattie Harnden pipped her in the overall title in 2024, but with Isabeau now being out of the picture, does mean it's opened things up significantly.
Yeah. With that in mind, our first rider is Ella Conolly, Cannondale Factory Racing. Now, before you start commenting, yes, Ella has won an Enduro World Series round before, but we're talking about World Cups here.
Ellie clearly has the speed, fitness and technical ability to take home those wins at international level. But recent years have seen her face some injury setbacks.
Yeah, 2024 saw Ella come back to nearly her very best with a consistent season, seeing her take 4th in the overall standings. Her best result came in Belvold, where she grabbed 2nd place behind Hattie Harnden.
Along with the runner-up positions, she got 3rd place finish in Ludenville, Finale and Combloux, showing consistency that in another year would potentially make her a challenger in the overall.
Next year is looking like it could be an incredible battle between her and Hattie Harnden. Slawomir Lukasik, Yeti Fox Factory Racing. Okay, we're going out on a shaky limb here because Slawomir has won a World Cup, but an EEDR World Cup in Bielsko-Biala, where just the day before he'd landed 2nd place in the EDR World Cup, also in Bielsko.
That 2nd place was the 3rd time he had made the 2nd step on the podium. He's a multi-time Polish national champion and a true veteran to the sport.
Yeah, however, that elusive World Cup EDR win has been so close. In Bielsko-Biala, he lost out to Charles Murray by 0.05 seconds for the win. In 2023, he missed out to Richie Rude by just 7 seconds. These time gaps over many stages of racing are extremely close.
I think Slawomir is a bit like the rider we started off this list with, Mr. Ashton, Bernard Kerr.
Yeah.
They both have great results, amazing careers, are both lacking their first big major win in a main event and pouring all their riding energy into.
Yeah, that's what they want. It just doesn't seem right for either of them to not get a win at some point. There we go, a selection of riders we truly think could take their first World Cup win in 2025. We've almost certainly missed out others who could do it, but why don't you give those riders their moment in the prediction sunlight in the comments down below?
Definitely. Let us know who is going to win their first World Cup and why you think so. That's all for now. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.